afternoon, and good evening. It's your girl ChucTayyy, and I am here with your RETV Sports Break. You can catch me here every Thursday, talking junk, spitting facts. Let's get started. So this week, guys, it is going to be a football week. Lots of things happening all over the place, but these couple things have kind of stuck out to me, and it's my show, so that's what we're going to talk about. So number one, I slightly touched on this last week, but we had bigger fish to fry last week. But Henry Ruggs, again, if you are living under a rock, as I say every week, and you only get your news from here, Henry Ruggs is a now former NFL player who decided that he was going to get drunk over twice the legal limit in the state that he was in at the time, drive over 150 miles per hour in his Corvette with his girlfriend in the passenger side, and then he gets into an accident, slams into another car, unfortunately kills the driver of that car, huge fire, all of the things. So he is at present confined to his home where he needs to take a breathalyzer 4 times a day. Basically, he's alerted by phone call or text, and then he blows into the breathalyzer at 4 random times throughout the day. He is being charged with 2 felonies that I am aware of, and is basically facing jail time. So the reason why this comes up this week, he failed to blow into the breathalyzer at the scheduled time, or at the time when he was texted or called and, said, hey, blow into the thing. So, of course, that's in the news. Second thing, his lawyers are trying to get his medical record sealed. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Honestly, I feel bad for lawyers. People like Elle Woods and Annalise Keating make being a lawyer sound so glamorous. However, I just don't understand the case here. My man's blew 2 times the legal limit, was driving over 150 miles, and killed somebody. Where is the case here? What's the case? What is the defense? I'm trying to figure it out. Just send him to jail. And on top of that, from my understanding, the NFL has a program or something in place that if you get drunk and you need not be driving home, you can make a phone call and somebody will come get you. Also Uber, which has absolutely nothing to do with the NFL. It's just a thing that exists, right? But this is a choice that this man made, that he was going to get beyond drunk, okay, and then get behind the wheel of his car. I haven't heard if his girlfriend was intoxicated or if she was also drinking. I don't really know how the decision comes that he's going to be the one to operate the vehicle and not her. But I just feel like, what is the defense here? You got drunk. You drove 150 miles where the highest speed limit I've ever seen anywhere is 70. So now you're doing more than double this, what would probably be the top speed limit depending on where you were. And then you hit somebody and you killed them. So I digress. So Henry, again, is being charged with 2 felonies that I am aware of at this present moment. Preliminary hearing is going to be December the 16th. Basically, both felonies come with at least, if they find him guilty, come with at least 2 years of jail time each. So he's looking at up to 4 years in prison, and that's just for the charges that we are aware of. There was mumblings about a misdemeanor as well, but that seemed to kind of disappear and float by the wayside. So we will continue to gather what is going on as the weeks continue. Numero dos. The NFL is tightening up their COVID protocols. Now, part of me feels like this is all behind Aaron Rodgers. I could be incorrect, but who am I? I just run this show. Now, what they are doing, and this is what they are saying, it is due to the holiday coming up, which I'm still trying to figure out how we're getting ready to walk into Thanksgiving. I just don't understand. So What they're saying is they're going to put extra cameras in the facilities, in the weight rooms. The players, coaches, faculty, staff, all of the people are going to have to take extra tests, especially the Monday and Wednesday after said holidays, and just make sure everybody's doing what they need to do. We're back to masks for everybody, all those types of things. Now, the reason why I bring this to your attention is because the real question that I have behind this is how come the NFL just flat out hasn't said, hey, if you don't get vaccinated, you're not allowed to play in certain games and you're not allowed to do certain things like the NBA. The thought that, to piggyback off of that, which may or may not answer my question, but I've literally never heard anybody say this. Is it because the sport is supposed to be played outside? But then to piggyback off of my piggyback, not all of the stadiums are like, they can have open air, but like domes, I'm confused. I just have questions, qualms, and concerns because I just feel like, is it great that you're trying to take extra precautions considering that family and people are getting ready to start traveling even more and so on and so forth? Sure. I mean, that's really great. But going back to last week and this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, and like knowing that there are other players in the league that are not vaccinated, and this is not an anti-vax or pro-vax. This is not what I'm saying, but that's not what I'm trying to do. But what I am saying is I don't quite understand why the NFL hasn't like taken a hint. Like, we all know that you guys didn't handle this super great last year when it started, and the NBA did a pretty good job, and they still seem to be doing a pretty good job. So, like, Roger, read the room. I'm just saying. So, very interested to see what happens, of course, coming back from the holiday for all sports, of course, because, yes, people are going to be traveling. There are people who are obviously not vaccinated, who are also obviously not wearing masks, and with the COVID numbers rising again, very interested to see what happens with these extra precautions on top of the protocols that has them, anybody who tests positive, out for at least 10 days. And as we are getting closer and closer towards the end of the season, this is like make or break time here. So again, developing as always. Last but certainly not least, you guys remember John Gruden, right? Like, remember when he had a job, and he doesn't anymore. And he's a little bit upset about it. So John Gruden, again, former NFL coach, commentator, all of the things, was a part of some email gate thing that happened. And basically it came out that he was like an uber racist and a misogynist and just all of the things, all of the bad things. And the girls were like, no, get him out of here. So now he is suing the NFL because he feels like he was targeted because apparently this investigation brought forth over 65,000 emails, but the only ones that we were made privy to were his, that were all like bad and painted him in such a bad light. So he like talks to the press, right? And this is what he says. This is per ESPN. The complaint alleges that the defendants selectively leaked Gruden's private correspondence to the Wall Street Journal and New York Times in order to harm Gruden's reputation and force him out of his job. This is all per his lawyer. There is no explanation or justification for why Gruden's emails were the only ones made public out of the... Oh, I'm sorry. I said 65,000. I should have said 650,000. Okay, so back to the top of the quote. There's no explanation or justification for why Gruden's emails were the only ones made public out of the 650,000 emails collected in the NFL's investigation of the Washington football team, or for why the emails were held for months before being released in the middle of the Raiders season. There's more to that quote, but that run-on sentence was enough for me. So again, the girls are saying that Roger Goodell and the NFL specifically targeted Gruden. That's all they're really saying. And wanted to out him. They really wanted him to lose his job with the Raiders. And they just had to do this whole Hillary Clinton email thing to get him up out of here. How about, again, maybe I should have made this the second thing behind the Henry Ruggs thing. But here's the thing, right? What is the defense here? So they targeted him. And what? He's still a racist. He's still a misogynist. He still said wild stuff and left a paper trail. Listen, if you're going to be a racist, if you're going to be a misogynist, if you're going to say very, very no good, very bad things about people, like, do it where we can't go back and have ocular proof, okay? And then, like, I even go back to Rachel, what's her name, who said all that stuff on the Zoom. Like, you didn't even make sure that you were on mute before you were talking cash. So here's what I'm wondering. Again, I say, what is the defense? He's still a racist. So even if you win this suit or what have you, which from my understanding, because of some other things with the NFL, this could all go to like federal court and it's like going to be a thing. But let's say you win, right? Let's say Annalise Keating comes in, helps you get away with murder. Do you get your job back? Because are you any less racist or misogynistic or homophobic? Are you any less of these things? I think not. So are you going to get your job back, Mr. Gruden? I find that highly unlikely. So it's like, save your little bit of coin, baby, because you're unemployed right now, and you should probably not be spending your money on all of these lawyers and things, and you should figure out how you're going to continue to pay your bills. And that's it for me this week, guys. I believe we're going to take a break next week because, you know, turkey and ham and all of the things and more football. But I'll get back to you on that. So if I do not see you, have a happy holiday. Be safe. Wear your mask. Use hand sanitizer. Don't sneeze all over the turkey. Don't eat at everybody's potluck. If you're like going into the office, hey, listen. How about just don't have office potlucks? Just don't do that. It's not safe. Don't do that. And I will see you when I see you. It's your girl, ChucTayyy. You can catch me here every Thursday, talking junk, spitting facts, new teas. I'll see you later.